Hello, and welcome back to another art video. If you remember that little Kirby looking cat hat mage with the little menu and the wand, it's not Kirby. It might look kind of like Kirby, but it's not Kirby. Um, and they're wearing like a little hat that's like a cat, and they have a menu with like a little burger on it and a little wand, and they're like, I guess like some sort of like magical creature or whatever. But we're doing another card. We're doing another card today, and this is a super secret card because we're going to be actively, for the first time, using the acrylic markers in a artistic capacity. So it is very interesting, and if you didn't see what we're going to be doing, you just have to rewind back to the beginning of the video because I didn't want to keep it in the video for the whole thing. I probably could have put it on the side, but it's just not really something that I want to be there for the whole video. So this pencil sketch looks pretty sick. I wish that I would have taken a scan of it so that I could have, kept it forever as the pencil sketch, because it just looks so cool as the pencil sketch. It does look really good. Like, I hate to glaze it, but it does look really good. Like, look how cute that is. Like, and if you like squint, it kind of looks like it got like a lips, like a mouth. Like, it kind of looks like it's like, like all dolled up. And I got cocky right there and try to draw like action lines. It's like, bro, relax. You're barely doing a good job. Just take it, like, take what you can get. He just started going crazy with the color. It's like, little bro, like, you are not who you think you are. Just chill out, do your little art, and ain't nobody worried about you. But like, look how nice that looks. Like, so good. And we're using a Papermate Inkjoy ballpoint pen, 10 mm, I believe, or is it 9 mm? It's either 1 mm or 9 mm, and I don't know. I can't even check because I don't know where it is. But oh yeah, thanks Boy Time. Boy Time said, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Our sponsor is always on the ball. Just a crazy little guy who is also right. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really know how to use acrylic acrylic markers, or I do have a really old acrylic paint that I use, but I use it more so like watercolor than anything else. But I don't really know how to use acrylic markers or acrylics at all. So I'm heavy from the world of, draw your lines, and that's what you're supposed to do. I don't know what to do. So it really is a learning experience. But I do know one thing. It's it's dark to light with acrylic paint, and not dark to light. But as you are going to see, I'm going to flub the acrylic paints, and not until it was after I did this that I did watch a video on how to use them. Yeah, so now we're erasing the pencil lines, just so that we are left with the pen lines. And in the future, I still don't really know how to deal with this part, because in the future I want to be able to, do this and not worry about the other parts. But like, look, so cute. I want it to be more like action pose, but it's fine. It's 3/4 is fine enough. and I started to color it, and I forgot there wasn't a recording, so I had to start the recording again. And yeah, this is a watercolor pencil, so you already know what the meta is. We're gonna use our fingers to color that in, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's an interesting like situation because like I didn't really have much of a thought of what I wanted to do for these. I kind of just did them, and the fact that I was able to do that is, really astounding for me, you know, because I know my limits. Digital art, I could do something. Traditional art, I could do something, but you know, only so much I could do. But yes, here we are again. We're going back in, adding some purple because purple and blue for some reason just really scratches that itch of aesthetics, and we're gonna wet this anyway, so it doesn't even really matter. We're gonna go finger paint mode, but I don't know. Yeah, okay, so we're going wet first, and we're not I thought we did this after I did the acrylics, but I didn't. Apparently I didn't do this afterwards, so, and it kind of looks cool like this. Like I kind of wanted to just leave it this way, but it just did not work out like that. It came out like this, and you can see like the remnants on the page, how it looks kind of cool. Like it kind of looks like kind of cool. Like, oh, like almost like it's like combined. Like that should be the card. That gave me an idea. Like now I'm looking at that, it's giving me like an idea on how to like fix this in the future, or like not how to fix it, but how I want my cards to look. I want them to have like that line, so maybe I have to draw even smaller, so I could have like that, like uh I want to call it expanse, like beam class, something. I don't know what I would call it, but it's a good aesthetic right there. I see it, and now I've gotten the vision. I've got the vision now. Oh, page. That's what you could call it. Like, is a page, because it kind of looks like it's like attached to a page. That's not a bad idea. Now, why am I coloring in this with yellow if I'm going to use acrylic marker? That is a wonderful question, and I do not know the answer. But, you know, if you like the unorthodox methods and you find them to be amusing in any way, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I believe this particular one is in real time, but I am not 100% sure because I can't see what video this is, but it should be in real time. If it is, yeah, so it's like what, like 19 minutes long about. So it is a long one. It is one of the more longer ones, and we are now using the acrylic paints for the first time. So it's dark to light, and obviously you can blend them. You can do like little patterns. You can dilute them and whatnot. I am not in that class, so what I'm using them is like paint by number style, where I try to like color inside the lines, but it just don't come out that way. It's not the most conductive, most productive use of our time, but we try to do our best. We try to put our things together. We try to count our eggs in the basket, but it's definitely a difficult task to undergo each time. when you don't know what you're doing, especially with something like this. I feel like acrylic markers are not very forgiving, and some people might say that they are. I don't know, but I just didn't think so. And not being able to see my lines and having to try to figure out what it is that I'm looking at is very difficult to comprehend. So I'm looking and I'm just like, wow. And I forgot that you had like the other tip, which is like really thin, because I was using the big broad one. And the little thin tip is good for like getting in those like little tight spaces. And I'm trying to preserve as much of the ink as possible, but that at times can be a mistake, it seems like, you know. And then retouching up things is also kind of like a little dodgy, because there's not a reason to do that. There's no reason to retouch up some of the stuff that you've already done. You just leave it the way that it is and then move on to the next part. So, and then now we're going to go for the body. And yeah, my thoughts on, I never had like acrylic pen markers before. So my thoughts on these markers is, I don't know. I think they're all right, I guess. Like, I don't know if there's like, uh, I don't know how I would be able to know, because I'm a beginner when it comes to certain things. But I just, color it the way that I think that it should be. And the way that I think that it should be is pink, trying to get everything in the way that where it needs to go. And it is interesting. It is still interesting that I colored it yellow because I went over it with the acrylic markers, and I don't think I originally was going to use the acrylic markers. I think that's why I wasn't going to use them. And then I was like, you know what? We have them. We have to use them. And that's what I did. I put on my thinking cap, busted them out, and just went to town. I don't really see any other way to learn how to do it without, I guess, trying to use it. But I noticed, like, after it was done, it kind of looks like a little really like crusty, but it's charming. It's a charming kind of crust. We're coloring the eyes, and this character is obviously very Kirby inspired. I do really enjoy Kirby. I think Kirby is a cute character that's really easy to draw and really inspiring. Kirby, Meta Knight, etc. Those characters really make you want to create things that look like that and create stuff that's kind of like that. Like, I have the the other art and the check season 1. There's like a Meta Knight inspired character in there, and these characters are just really like inspiring and easy to draw. It's like a circle with wings, or a circle with a hat or something. It's very low stress, very high fun. Kirby on the Game Boy Advance is such a fun game, such a action packed fun game. But and you can pretty much finish it really quickly, like 4 hours or something like that, 4 or 5 hours to finish the whole game. And then the Meta Knight version is, I don't know how long, but pretty easy. And then you have other games that you love, like Kirby Air Ride. Like, I loved Kirby Air Ride. I found it to be one of my favorite games, and I'm glad that they made a Kirby Air Ride 2, but unfortunately I do not have a Switch 2, so I cannot have it. Wish I had a Switch 2. I would definitely get that, but I do not have a Switch 2, so sucks to be me. And yeah, so we're just gonna, I'm looking at the reference, the image. Unfortunately, as a viewer, I can't give you this homework, but the homework would be, if you want to see what the reference image looks like, just go to the beginning of the video and then you can see it again. Me as the editor and video maker, I should make it as easy as possible for you to see the reference for the whole video, but we got to add in that little caveat. But I am just not doing that right now. I'm so sorry, but thank you. as time goes on, I will become a bit more accommodating to everyone, including myself. So, right now, the main thing about these videos is like a method to get me to draw pretty much, like every day or all the time, and a way to record that, a way to be able to reflect on it, and a way to share it with others. But the primary goal is for myself, and then everything else is kind of secondary. So the main connective parts of it is, it has to be like uh, low entry for me to keep it up consistently. And we're getting close to the end here. Seems like we're getting relatively close for the coloring. And this part was the weirdest part because I was trying to figure out how to get it right, but it just was wrong. This part would have had to have been done with uh, you know, the water brush and then blending, because this just didn't come out exactly the way that I wanted it. But I tried, and I made I made it look, pretty cool, pretty cute, and I really do appreciate the way that I was able to do that. And then I take the brush pen onto the eyes, which, in hindsight, I don't really think I needed to do that because I messed up the eyelash on the left eye or the right eye anyway, so it just didn't even matter. I should have just left it the way that it was. But this obsession with like the black line will make it stand out, so I must touch it. It's like, yeah, you don't always need to do that. Like sometimes it's better to just not interact with that because it just makes it so dark and ruins the significant value of that. I don't know if the video, like, if the OBS did a skip right there or not. I don't know what that was, but yeah, it's pretty annoying. I persistently, these videos are fun to make, but I hope that we figure out this OBS thing. But I don't know. Definitely not OBS. Probably just the computer acting weird. But we are nearing the end. What do you think about this piece? What do you think about my debut of using acrylic markers? Do you think it is, or do you think it is yay? I don't know. I think it's eh, it happened, and yeah. So it was happening during this video. Sorry, but it happened. It's just very interesting how how this went, and I apologize for the glitching. We are near the end of the video. Thank you if you made it this far into the video, and hopefully you like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you again soon. Stay tuned to the end. I believe I will give it a close up. So I will see you later though. Bye.